Hello everyone, welcome back. I know many of you were expecting the next episode in our project management series, but before that I had to pause and share something important about investments during war times. It was crucial to address how to safeguard your finances and explore better fund options in uncertain periods. I truly appreciate your patience and understanding while I took that detour. Your trust means a lot, and I wanted to make sure you had timely insights when it mattered most. Now, I'm excited to say, we are back on track with our project management journey. Today's episode dives right into Gantt chart. So let's pick up where we left off, continue building our skills, and make sure we are ready to manage projects with confidence. Do like and subscribe to this channel and keep showing your support. So, with the list of activities in place and their target start and end dates, we are ready to lay our plan on a calendar-like table and make it more visual. In other words, create a Gantt chart. So, we start with the activities and the dates, and we already have this information. Next, we need to prepare our calendar table to the right. In a Gantt chart, the columns are organized as a timeline with calendar days, weeks, or months. Let's use months for the frequency and see what our Gantt chart will look like. We start with the main activities from the critical path and target dates. We write Jan in the first column to the right here. As we hold and scroll, the following months appear automatically. Excel recognizes you want to list the months, you drag as much as needed. In our case, it's February. Next, above the months list, it will be good to indicate the year. We can add a new row and then merge the cells which are above the first year months. We then name it and do the same for the following one. Choose the colors and formatting. And we are ready with the rows and columns. In the main space, we will be marking which activity happens when. Before we start, I would suggest to update the color of all these cells to no fill, so that the default cell borders are visible. This makes it easier to read. Now we need to fill the main space according to the start and end dates. Requirements definition will take place in March and April, so we mark it on the calendar. You can pick the color you like. Then kickoff will take place in April, while system development will be worked on from April until the end of July. We mark these accordingly under the respective months and to the right of the respective activity. Similarly, we do this for the whole list. This is great. This is an appropriate level of detail for presenting the project to higher management. As an example, we are now good on the high level, but we know very well that this is never sufficient for a project manager to do that. We need to be able to mark weeks or even days. For example, you can see that the first activity should end on the 10th of April. However, our only option now is to mark the entire month of April against it. Here it is. Hence, let's use weeks for the frequency as another option. We will now create the Gantt chart using weeks as the calendar frequency. First of all, here we will have the full list of activities, sub-activities and tasks that the project manager has identified for the project. We can start again from the first cell next to the activity list. This cell will now indicate a specific calendar week. We will use the date of the first working day for the given week. For example, we can use the first Monday in the month of 26th March, the 2nd of March. Let's continue filling in the rest of the weeks in March, like 9th March, and then we can automatically fill in the start date of the following weeks. Just select the two cells with dates and drag to the right to do this for whole month. There we go. The start dates of the weeks in March are now filled in. Each column represents a specific calendar week. We will add the weeks for the whole period of my project. Great. Week titles are ready. Now we can mark the activities in the space against each week, like we did for months. We can now also track the plan in greater detail in the Gantt chart. The exact week when an activity is supposed to start and end is now visible. Now, we will add the months and years into new rows above, merging the cells above the marked weeks, naming it March. We will continue in the same way for the remaining months, then we repeat the same for the years. Great, the calendar is now easy to see. You can further format to improve the appearance. We can simply merge each cell with the above rows so they align with the whole calendar week, month and year rows. One by one we merge and align. Fast forwarding the formatting. Few options to optimize the width, which comes from longer time periods. Select all columns including week dates and double-click on a random border at the top. This will optimize the width of the columns and save you some space. If this is still too wide for you, you can change the format of the date in the week's row to 2 numbers only. After we do it, we need to optimize the width of the entire table again. Another option is to change the orientation of the date text. Select all date cells, click on the orientation menu and select rotate text. Space is now optimized. At the end, it is good to select the whole table and apply outside borders from the Borders menu. There you have your Gantt chart. It is extremely useful for so many reasons. It illustrates the activities against the calendar. You can see which activities move in parallel with which ones sequentially. You can see in a matter of seconds where you are today and what is upcoming for your project team. Hence, it is useful not only during the planning phase but also for monitoring and control purposes. That's a wrap on today's deep dive into Gantt charts, how they help us plan, track, and deliver projects with clarity. In the next episode, we will see few Excel tutorials and create some budget documents. I hope this episode gave you practical insights you can apply right away in your own projects. Keep practicing this Gantt chart. More you practice, better will be your hands-on experience. If you are new to this channel, then you should start from episode 1. I have attached the thumbnails and I also have attached playlist. Keep exploring. If you found this helpful, make sure to hit subscribe and stay tuned, because the next episode will take us further into project management tools and techniques you won't want to miss. Thanks for watching, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next video.